Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Connor here, back again with another video. In today's video, I'm doing a quick, instant reaction type video, as you can see by the thumbnail and the title, to Optic Gaming's 3-0 victory over the Paris Legion at the opening weekend. So, yeah, I mean, Optic came out, beat them 3-0. They weren't totally dominant, as a 3-0 would look. They definitely were in the hard point, but they had their down times, they had their good times, and overall, they're obviously very happy to come away with a W against a team who some are calling a sleeper team. And, Paris Legion's a middle of the pack team. They're not legit challengers, but they're not garbage either. So it was definitely a big win for Optic. I have some stats here. That's why I'll be looking this way some. I recorded some stuff during the game. And yeah, so the hard point 250 to 102 in favor of Optic. I mean, slaying wise in this hard point was the big thing. They came out and just dominated Paris in the slaying. Formal, I know, started the game 9-1. He finished 18-9. As a team, Optics KD was 1.54 compared to 0.65 for Paris. So that was obviously the big story of the game. If you're getting outslayed that bad on rotations and just in the hill, wherever you are, pretty much just totally outslayed and just outgunned, you're never going to want to respawn. Forma had a 2.0, Scump 1.43, Envoy 144, and Dashi 146. So if you're slaying numbers like that good, like I said, you're not going to drop any hard points. Now, for Paris, formal little trash talk video thing that went a little bit viral. He was talking about, if Fire doesn't come out and dominate his gunfight, it's going to be a long day for Paris. And Fire went 12-19 with a .63 in the first in the raid hard point. So it wasn't the start for him, but really nobody played well. Aqua led the team with a .74 KD. They had a Classic with a .62 and Scraps with a .62 as well. So yeah, the hard point was not Paris's game at all, which I don't know. They've competed with Optic a little bit in some hard points, but Optic on raid hard point lately, it's just been really, really strong. So I tweeted before the match even started. I said, "Oh, the first map is raid hard point. Well, that's Optic 1-0, just because they've been so good on that map," and they were. And the search is what we get to next, and the search is what Optic's weak link is considered to be. They're probably the best respawn team in the league, and they're good at search. They're probably top 4 or 5-ish, maybe top 6, whatever. And they're right around the middle of the pack in search. So not that they're weak at it, they're just weak relative to their respawn games. But they came out and they played, pretty well in the search. They actually started down 0-3, ended up coming back to win 6-4. Envoy led the way in this one in terms of KD, but Formal was the one really with he had 11 kills. He went 11-6. Envoy went 8-4. Dashy 7-5 and Scump 5-7. I wish I would have kept track of first bloods because I think Dashy did a pretty good job on that. And in general, I think Optic did a pretty good job. When they got first blood, they usually capitalized on it and won the round. I can think of one round when it was 3-3. They got the first blood in the 7th round, but then they ended up losing the round to go down 4-3. But beyond that, I can't think of a round where they had first blood and lost, but I wasn't paying attention that close for the first 3 rounds, so I could be forgetting one. But yeah, overall, they went 31-22 in the game compared to obviously 22-31 for Paris, 1.41 for Optic, 0.71 for Paris in that game. I think a big thing for Optic in this was just winning one-on-ones and trading efficiently. Like I said, when they would get a first blood, they usually would capitalize on it. They had, Dashy only had 7 kills, but I feel like he had at least two pieces. I could be wrong, but I just remember him making some big plays. Formal was, like I said, he had 11 kills. I can think of one play where he really gunned them for a 2-piece. It was a really nice play by him. Just overall, each individual, they made individual plays when needed. That's kind of the thing with this team. You don't know how they're going to be as a team in search, but they're 4 good individual players, and you saw that. Envoy, we know how good he is at search, arguably the best search player in the league. He was just getting out there, getting his hands dirty, getting the information. He just seemed to absorb so much damage without actually going down. It was like he was getting out there, almost dying, not quite dying, getting back, getting safe, and then sort of figuring out where the other team was and what to do from there. So we just know how smart he is as a search player, and it was on display here. Him and Formal, of course, were the big standouts for Paris. Classic was the only one that was positive. He had 9 kills to 8 deaths. Again, for Fire, 3-8. Not the start he wanted, definitely for his first real CDL experience. Yeah, just a tough. They started up 3-0, but from there they just sort of fell apart in that search on checkpoint or checkmate. So yeah, it was ugly for them after they got the big lead, and then the raid control. The Optic won 3-2 to win was weird because I think there were 3 offenses won. Optic won 2 offenses and Paris won 1. There were again in this game. So the standout player for Optic was Dashy. This was actually the only map where they were outslayed. Optic was outslayed. They had 95 kills. Paris had 98. So they were slightly outslayed. But again, it was just really this time it came down to winning plays when needed. I can think of the defense that Optic won to go ahead 2-1. Envoy had at least a two-piece, maybe a three-piece at the very end of the round where Paris was very close to capturing A to take the 2-1 lead, and then Envoy killed it. Like I said, at least two, maybe three, made a huge play. They were, like I said, they were close to capturing the point and ending the round, but Envoy made a big play and saved the round. Formal started. This is funny. Formal started 4-0, and then I think he was 5-13 after the second round. So he had a really tough go at it there for a little while. He was stuck at 5 kills for a long time, but it's all good in the end. He did finish negative in the game. Actually, everybody, like I said, everybody but Dashy did. Formal was 18-24, Scump 25-26, and then Envoy 23-25. So the slang wasn't there in the raid, but the big plays at the right time were made. Like I said, with Envoy and the big kill over at A. Scump had a two-piece, I believe it was in Kitchen, to capture the final point and essentially win the game or no. I don't know if that was in round 4 or round 5. I can't remember, but Scump, I think it was round 5. Scump made a big play, allowed his team to get the captures. Dashy was making big plays left and right, just a bunch of two pieces and three pieces. He had a really good map. Like I said, with the 1.26 for him in the map. For Paris, nothing really stands out. Aqua played a good game, KD wise, 26-19. Like I said, they did a good job stacking the point. There were times where they were really outslaying Optic, and like at one point they went from like down 6 lives to up 2 lives or something like very quickly. So they were making plays for sure. They just couldn't do it consistently enough, but they were competitive. That's for certain. I probably wouldn't have even expected them to push Optic that hard on a respawn, but they did. So it was an impressive round for them. You don't really like moral victories. I'm sure they don't like moral victories, but it was, if you can compete with Optic that closely in a raid control, that's probably a pretty good sign moving forward. Now, overall at the event, the standout player for Optics probably Dashy. If you would have asked me that, I was thinking about this in my head. Who's a standout player? And before I got to the control, I was thinking it was Formal because he played really well in the search and he had that 2.0 in the opening hard point, but he slowed down in the control. But Dashy was consistent throughout. He was positive every game. He was the only player who was positive every game. Um, just a really good day from him. Like I said, his shots were on point. What you're gonna get with him and his gun skill, just hitting his shots, picking up the two pieces, the big plays when needed, trading, just doing everything right. But it's hard to pick a standout player because, like I was saying, they all made their individual plays. Formal starting 9-1, Envoy and Seth or Scump. I don't like saying their first names, making the big plays in the control. Dashy had some big plays in the search and in the control as well for sure. So just everybody stepped up when needed. They all had their standout moments, and it was good for them. Now Paris, Aqua had a 1.0. He's the only one who was, if that's considered positive, I don't know. He was the only one positive. Fire, like I said earlier with Formal, sort of talking a little bit of trash. Fire went a 0.71 for the series, so not his best start, but I'm sure he will pick up from there. Classic a 0.78 and Scraps a 0.88. As a team, they had a 0.83, and Optic as a team had a 1.2. So slaying power, as we know, with Optic was on full display there. That's going to be their strength moving forward. And if they can continue to get the first bloods and to trade effectively in the search and destroys, they'll be a very tough team to beat. But of course, that depends on who they're playing, and we will see more of that tomorrow night or Sunday night, excuse me, when they play FaZe. That's like the game of the weekend for sure. Going to be a fun one to watch. And yeah, that is my instant reactions to Optic versus Paris. It was a good map or a good series for Optic. They came out, they made the plays when needed, they dominated the hard point like we expected. So nothing big to take away. It was just pretty much what you expected from them, and then they're going to prepare for a big one against FaZe Sunday night. So thank you for watching. If you could, drop a like on the video, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. There will be CDL content like this, frequently. I probably won't be able to do instant reactions for every map or every match and series, as you saw. This is the first one, but I will definitely do it when I can. And yeah, I'll just keep track of the stats and give my thoughts. So that's the plan for me, and I thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.